You show up in my synagogue and tell my rabbi what it says in the Torah, is going to throw you a head first and then go fuck yourself. Because you have no standing by him, zero. Very tall, you're 3 times his height, but you have no standing in the topic, in the matter. Now, for us to accept it, especially, it has to be someone of ours. Well, you would say the Ummah. It has to be one of our crowd. So if it's not from our crowd, we won't accept it. That's it. So it has to be one of our specialists to say. So it's the same way if I'd say, this is amazing, you're not going to trust me. If Ali says it, it's different because he's part of the Ummah. So that's number one. And number two, we have a shitload of terms and conditions. Like, when you get an iPhone, they click. We have loads what has to apply for a profit. So for the first 5 minutes, you could pull up a profit even if you're not. You're not one if you manage to do some optical illusion. But after, we have a whole list of requirements we need you to do.
I'm actually asking you, as a person of superior knowledge to me in this field, yeah? And I want you to give me because I'm curious now.
Yeah.
Can I ask you to tell me what evidence is there in the Old Testament corpus that a prophet has to be from Bani Israel?
Has to be Jewish?
Yeah.
No, why?
Why does it have to be Jewish? Yeah. No, not Jewish. I'm saying you said from our crowd, so I'm thinking the children of Israel, yeah?
Jewish, we're talking about Jewish.
Yeah, ethnically Jewish. Ethnically Jewish, yeah?
Because it says he has to descend from King David.
No problem. Where does it say that he has to be from Bani Israel? The lineage, the ethnic lineage has to be from Bani Israel.
Because he has to be a son of descendant from David.
Show me the verse that what you're talking about, so we can.
I don't know the verse by heart. I apologize.
Can I see it, please?
I don't know. If you want, I can find it for you.
Yes.
You try WhatsApp someone afterward. It's I don't know these things by heart. Like I'm saying, I'm a scholar in these things.
Okay, no problem. What I was going to say is that I'll be honest with you, right?
It says that he has to be a descendant of David, and even hypothetically, give me a second. Hypothetically speaking, let's say it doesn't say. Hypothetically speaking, you're gonna use that to bring why couldn't your prophet be our prophet, right?
Pardon?
You're getting at why couldn't your prophet be the Messiah, correct?
I'm not getting. We don't believe he's the Messiah anyway.
No, what are you getting at? You want to know? Let's say hypothetically he doesn't have to be Jewish.
Okay, hold on. My question is this. My question is.
Yeah. Let's say hypothetically he doesn't have to be Jewish.
Let's say the criteria for prophethood. You said there's a lot of terms and conditions
that he has to do after to actually become the prophet.
I'm saying that from what we've discussed, and also from, if you look at Deuteronomy 18, verse 19, 20, yeah? You'll find that the criteria of prophethood is that he has to prophesy.
No, there's in something called the Talmud, there's something called Nach. You ever heard of Nach? There's 3 sections of what we call Nach. We call it the Old Testament, or we call it the 5 books of Moses.
Right.
And then there's prophecies. There's a whole list of them, and in there it gives them.
No. I'm talking about. I'm talking about Moses now.
Yeah.
He's the one. He's the speaker in this. Yeah. Because he's the one, right?
Yeah, but the later prophets said what you need to. It's not only Moses that made the requirement, but it's only Moses that set the requirements. The later prophets set them as well. Understand?
Okay, no problem. I'll go with that. I haven't got an issue with this. But I'm saying that let's start with Moses' requirements first.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is that from my reading, and please correct me if I'm wrong, once again, you're a specialist, I'm saying to you, one of the criteria that I looked at in the end of Deuteronomy, of that particular chapter, was saying that they have to be able to prophesy. If they make prophecies which are accurate, that's a criteria.
I don't know. I'm not. I could be out.
No.
I'm not. I don't know.
No problem. It's there, right?
I'll take your word. Let's hypothetically speak. Go for it.
All right. No, it's not hypothetical. It's in the Bible.
I know,
right?
but I'm not gonna put my. I'm not gonna say that it's there. If I don't know.
We can get the Bible. We can check you the verse. I mean, it's not a big problem, right? I don't want it to be like hypothetical. I want you to, because we want to look at the criteria. It's fair. Like, look at the criteria that Moses set, other prophets, and so on, and let's see if they fulfill the criteria.
Sorry, where do you say it was?
Let's check Deuteronomy chapter 19. Or actually, go to chapter 18 and the last verses.
Right.
So, chapter 18, verse 19, 20. Just for the sake of argument.
You wanted 18, what verse?
Like verse. Let's go to the end. Like literally the last verse. Now see where it talks about.
I'm gonna look. I arrived at the Prophet. I'm gonna look where it's first answer. All right, let's start here. If it doesn't make sense, we'll go back. The Lord your God will raise upon you a prophet amongst your own people. That's what you want to know where.
Okay, well, let's read it in. Sorry. You can read this. Let's read this in the Hebrew, yeah? Because I can see here it says lechem.
I can see they've turned it.
Is that correct?
Lecha, not lechem.
Lechem, yeah?
Lecha, not lechem. Lecha,
Lecha.
which means for
A
you.
little bit, Mohammed? Just
sorry,
like that. Yeah, cheers, bro, yeah?
It's very
Okay.
big. You have to be accurately in the frame.
Well, hold on.
Yes, literally his shoulders, that's all I got.
You get drones.
Can you read
We
the
got
whole
something
verse in
ahead,
Hebrew,
don't
please?
נביא מקרבך מאחד יקום לך השם אלוהים
Okay. This bit. Will you say that again?
יקום לך
Keep going.
Hashem, and it says now Hashem, it says God's name twice,
Yeah.
and then lecha tissue you should make.
All right. So it says we should send.
No,
Yeah?
God will send a prophet
Yeah.
from your own
Now, hold on. What does lecha mean? What does it mean?
from you.
What does it? What kind of pronoun is it? Is it a pronoun?
No idea. I don't know what pronoun even means.
Is it a pronoun?
I have no idea what those grammatical words are.
Okay. So
No,
a pronoun is like I, he, she, they, you.
No, it's not.
So what is it?
It's to you.
Okay, very good. Yeah. So keep reading.
Well, Hashem, and then says God's name, Elecha Tishma'un. Should make, should heed.
Perfect. So you accept that it says to you. Yeah.
Should make.
Go to verse 18, please. Now read it in Hebrew.
Navi ekim lehem mikarem achehem.
Okay. So
No,
now,
Achem means
now,
your Yeah, what's
no, because I wanted to make sure that I was right. Lacha means to you.
What?
Lacha means to you. Yeah.
Lechem.
Lacha means to you.
Yeah.
Whereas lachem means to them.
Where?
Is it correct?
What? So say that again.
Let's. You're a Hebrew speaker.
Correct.
You're teaching me, yeah? Lacha means to you. Am I right?
Lechem means to you.
Yeah. Lachem, which you read here in verse 18, means to them.
Lehem, not lechem.
No problem.
Lehem.
Lehem. No problem. What does it mean?
It makes a difference because
I
lechem means
apologize.
bread in Hebrew. That's why.
okay.
I just wasn't
And
sure.
lachem means meat in Arabic.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right.
That's why I wasn't trying.
All right.
Wasn't trying to be an asshole.
I apologize. Okay. If it's lahem, then we're gonna have a good meal together, right? In Arabic it means meat. All right. It's to them. Yes.
Lechem.
Lahem.
Lehem is to them.
To them. Who are they?
So in the beginning, in the beginning, God was speaking to the crowd, and when God was speaking to Moses. So still, when he's speaking to Moses, the second verse is saying for them. When in the beginning he's speaking to the crowd, you're going to make one of your own. I've answered your question also.
You're absolutely right. So you're saying in the beginning you were saying lacha,
Oh, yeah.
and then he said lahem.
Correct. What's your point?
So in the beginning he was saying to you.
You're saying to the crowd.
Yes. And then he said after that the prophet will be from.
He was talking to Moses to the crowd.
Yeah, he was
telling Moses that the
Yeah. So Moses, the crowd is here.
I'm telling you.
Right.
It'll be from them.
Yeah. So in the beginning he said lacha.
So he was speaking to Moses.
He's speaking to the crowd.
Correct.
Said you. It's gonna be from you. This and that.
Yeah.
Chosen you for you. And then he said, but the prophet will be from them.
When he's speaking to Moses.
No. He's speaking to the crowd still, yeah? It's Moses speaking in verse 18, yeah? It's Moses speaking in verse 18.
So God's telling Moses.
Yes.
And why
No,
is it?
hold on.
No, let me say something.
It's Moses
The
speaking.
reason why it says for them and not for you.
Yes, go ahead.
And not, why didn't God say it's going to be one of your crowd? We believe that the descendants of Moses aren't in the on your. It's going to sound really crazy, but it's so-called parallel dimension universe. We believe that there's words for it. It's very kabbalistic. I don't know what the English word for it is. don't know if you have it in Islam.
But-
Very,
but-
very spiritual. It's more spiritual.
What's your name again, sir?
David.
David.
So
You're following me, yeah?
I'm following.
I'm following you. I think we're on the same page.
That's all.
Verse 15, verse 14, verse 13. Lacha. The pronoun used is to you. We agreed with this.
Right.
There was no problem. Verse 18. Read out in the English so everyone can know what I'm talking about.
I will raise up a prophet for them from amongst their own people, like yourself.
So it's not talking about the Bani Israel anymore, is it?
No, yes, it is your own people.
Now, hold on.
About that.
Their own people. You said that it's got to be from Bani Israel.
Correct.
I'm
God
saying
was
here-
telling Moses. Why was he telling their people,
No,
not
no, no.
yours?
It's not God speaking. It's God speaking through Moses. The whole of Deuteronomy is like that. No one has said anything opposite, right?
This is no, but the original God was speaking through Moses to tell the crowd. This is God telling Moses himself. This wasn't going to the crowd. This wasn't a mass broadcast.
Okay.
This was a personal
verse 17,
message. This was a
verse
PM.
17. Verse 17.
Whereupon the Lord said to me, "They have done well in speaking thus."
Verse 16.
This is just what you asked for of your Lord.
Okay. Perfect.
I don't know what you think you struck gold here, but let's hear it. You seem to think you've struck gold, but let's hear it. You know you've had this argument already once. You do know that. You've had this argument already once. You know
I
that.
spoke to you about this.
Yeah, like a year ago.
I can't remember all that.
I'm just saying.
No, but
You might want to take notes. So quickly look at the video, see what you want.
I can't remember where the video is. I don't even have it on my channel. Maybe we'll make a put it now on our channel after this is shown.
Just
Rabbi,
saying,
Rabbi,
in
listen.
case you'd like to know.
Rabbi, look. I was gonna say straightforward, yeah.
Let's go.
Saying to you that the verse 16, he's speaking to the crowd.
Moses is speaking to the crowd
Yes.
for what God told him. Correct.
Yeah. Verse 17, still speaking to the crowd. Let's have a look at that, please, yeah?
And then this is the end of the sentence where Moses said, "Whereupon the Lord said to me, they have done well in speaking thus." This is the end of the whole thing, the word thing.
So, but he's still speaking to the crowd.
Correct.
All right, so all of a sudden,
And verse 18,
So imagine
from
now,
one
please.
verse to the next, it changes. Yes.
this is what you want us to believe, okay? David, I
let's hear your
want to
questions,
learn. So I'm speaking to the crowd. You guys, you know, some guy's gonna come from you guys, you know, this and that. And then verse 18, all of a sudden, personal message. 1 second. Yes, God. Yeah. I'll come back to the crowd. Verse 19.
No.
Does that sound fair? Can we read verse 19?
Pleasure. Never float your boat, bro.
Come on, let's read the scripture. Come on.
If anyone fails to heed the words he speaks in my name, all right. So this is he telling Moses, not the crowd. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense.
No, how it would make sense.
What?
Keep reading.
Okay. If anyone fails to heed the words he speaks in my name, I myself will call him to account. Who's this? This is Moses.
Go speak it. Go speak it.
To who? To Moses, telling Moses, if anyone pisses you off, come to me.
Keep reading.
But any prophet that presumes to speak in my name an oracle that I did not command utter.
This is what I was talking about, right? Do you remember what I was talking about? Can you keep reading that verse, please?
Sure. Name an oracle that I did not command him to utter or speak in the names of other gods, the prophet shall die.
Perfect. That's all I wanted,
You're
David.
going to tell me why you struck gold? You're just going to
No, David, that's all I wanted, right?
All right.
Okay, this is perfect. Okay, we've got everything here. These verses here show us all that we need to know. You know why?
No, but you're going to tell me.
Okay. Even if it was God speaking to Moses' personal message. Yeah, you're right. No problem. David, you got me. You got me. I tried, but...
You have a point. Get to it.
All right. Let's, for the sake of argument. I said there's two possibilities, and you would agree with me, right? There's two possibilities. Either he's speaking to the crowd and it says from them.
Yeah, but I don't believe
No,
that.
no,
Because
hold
you
on.
have other
No,
scriptures.
no problem. But
There is two possibilities.
Yes,
Correct.
there are two possibilities.
Life, there's always
Linguistically, you can tell me, right? There are two
There's two
possibilities.
possibilities,
Yeah. Second possibility, personal message possibility, right? Let's go with that possibility.
Let's go with that.
Because that's your perspective, right?
All right.
Let's say God was sending a personal message to Moses. Is Moses Bani Israel?
You see Bani Israel? Yes.
Okay, perfect. If he's Bani Israel, children of Israel, the same logic would apply. If God would have to say, from your people.
It's not, and this is why, like I said, because we believe...
From whose day then?
Well, because none of Moses' kids, as I said this before, we believe that Moses' kids didn't join the rest of the community when they went into Israel.
Say that again, sir?
We believe that Moses' kids didn't join the community.
Well, you had to make that up because you have to explain this exegetically.
It's okay. I would bring you other
From the kids. Yeah.
his kids. We believe putting the so-called parallel, which is a crabby
Parallel
explanation.
universe.
It's a crabby. We believe that he's in a place that can't be found. It's called
Who?
Sambacha.
Which is what?
It's what we believe. It's a mystical place.
Mystical place.
Yeah, where rocks fly out the river.
No problem. We
Put it this
believe
way,
in places like that as well.
No,
No
put it this
problem.
way, if a Christian told me, I'd laugh him up. I'm not even denying. If you weren't brought up with it, you'd think you're crazy.
That's Plato's. It's a Platonic theory, by the way. But keep going. And that's something that came about. Okay, that's a different discussion. How Platonic theories is called the land of forms, and how it was incorporated into Christian, Islamic, and Jewish faith. That's a whole subject matter we can talk about.
Kind.
Right. But what I'm saying to you is this: even if this is my point to you, is it not fair enough to say? Listen, David, please.
I'm listening.
I'm not trying to pull one over on you. You're more learned than I will ever be in Judaism, right? But I'm trying to say to you, as my teacher in Judaism, the fair rabbi, I'm saying to you, look, we're looking at the verses together, and we're saying that okay, there's two possibilities, right? We're learning together and reading.
And each one for one. You'd like
All right.
why?
So we said there's two possibilities. Either he's speaking to the crowd and he says from them, or God is speaking to them, to him, and he's saying from them. But I'm saying in either case, because lahem is there, it's not from you. It's not lacha, right? So if it's not lacha, then it's not Bani Israel. That's my deduction. That's my argument.
Right, so
now hold on. Sorry. One more thing.
Go for it.
David, I
Let me know
apologize,
when
yeah?
you finish.
One more thing, right? The other point I wanted to make was that the oracle point, which is tying it all together now, because there's a reason why I was reciting the verse of the Quran at the beginning. I'm telling you about the magicians. The oracle point was that the prophecies is a biblical criteria for true prophets. Agreed.
Sorry, repeat that. I didn't understand what you said.
Verse 20 said that if he's a true prophet, he'll speak in prophecies. His prophecies will come true, in other words, right?
All right.
And oracles, as the verse said, right? And if not, he'll drop dead, he'll die or something, right? You can read the
then we
verse.
should
Can
kill
you
him.
read it? Can you read the verse?
Said
I
he
don't
shall
want
be
to misquote.
killed.
I want to he shall be killed, right? All right, I don't want to misquote the verse, right?
You like me to show it to you?
Yeah, no, you can if you want to. Let's read the verse together. Let's read it together.
And Allah killed Muhammad?
I'm speaking to him, please.
That's fine, sir.
Can we
You've got
ask,
2 years.
if you want me to speak to you, I can.
All right,
I'll
I have a
say it.
quick question.
Let
for
me
you.
just.
No.
Yeah, you
Let's
finish your
Shut her up
question,
for
sir.
40 minutes.
please, we'll come to you, right?
Sir,
I'll
sir,
be-
you
20
finish-
seconds.
you
Just
finish your
shut her up.
point.
The prophet
That's
shall
fine.
die. If he shall speak in the name of other gods, the prophet shall die.
So, okay, perfect. So we've got a couple of things, right? We've got the oracle, and he has to speak in. He has to speak in. He has to speak in. He has to
We're
speak
gonna
in.
miss it for a while.
He has to speak in the name of God.
Correct.
Look at the conditions that we've got here. So he has to believe in one God, the true monotheism, not Trinitarianism or something like that.
All
right?
right, let me just read out the whole thing.
Please read out.
Presume speaking my name, an oracle that I did not command, meaning a new commandment. Just hold that in mind wherever you're going.
Yes. All right, no problem. So the commandments have to be the same.
Yeah. Not change a single one.
If it's not this verse, there are other verses that explicitly talk about prophecies as being a criteria. Number 3, he has to believe in one God.
Correct.
All right. Now,
Just going back, let's say for argument's sake, let's go for argument's sake. The last verse says you can be from outside the Ummah.
yes.
What do you do about the
Outside
first?
Bani Israel.
What you can do about the first verse that says you can't be from outside the community?
It doesn't say that in the first verse.
It does.
What does it say?
No. I will rise a prophet. No, the 16. What? We say l'cha will be from you.
Can you read the verse with the full
In
verse?
English and in Hebrew.
Both, if you want.
All right, we'll do it in English. I'm lazy. The Lord your God will raise a prophet from amongst your own people like myself, and you shall heed him.
Say again. Read it out.
Him you shall heed.
No problem. We believe in both.
What?
Yeah.
but
Hold on. What I'm saying is,
no, let me explain. Back.
after Moses,
the reason
we believe-
why it has to be, why the second verse has to be what I'm saying, you know what you're saying is, because the verse already says, so it wouldn't make sense. 2 verse later saying, hey, God had to change your mind, bros. Now everyone.
No,
can do
there
it.
is there's 3 possibilities here, right?
All right, let's say that.
No, it's 3 logical possibilities. Possibility 1, that he was talking about a prophet that was sent to Bani Israel from them. Number 2, possibility 2, that he was talking about two prophets, because one of them is from Bani Israel, or more than two, and possibility number three, that he was talking about the same one all along. These are three logical
Yeah,
ones.
but let's take the last one first, because it's at least it's the least one that I at least understand. The rest I can understand. Can make sense.
That can make sense because
The last one-
Let me
the last one
explain to you
can't make sense. How can they
from our understanding, right?
Go for it.
From our understanding, there were more than one. Obviously, after Moses, we both believe there were many prophets that were sent, right?
Correct.
So it wasn't just one prophet.
Correct.
Okay, so we both agree that there were more than one prophet that was sent after Moses.
No, we charge. You have to pay money.
We both agree that there was more than one prophet that was sent after Moses.
Yeah, quite few.
Perfect, no problem. Then we agree, because then
Yeah.
in that case there could be there could be some from this tribe and that from this tribe. But look, what I'm trying to show you here is that there is an exegetical possibility based on Lahem that there can be a prophet outside of the scope of Jewish lineage. Yeah.
All right, no problem. So
And
what-
is that fair?
While I disagree with where you get from, I can hear where you come from. I can hear.
No. But yes, thank you, David. That's all I wanted you to say.
I can hear, but
I'm
no
saying it's a possibility. Now I'm open.
All right, I'm
Me and you-
open to that possibility.
Perfect. Right? If you're open to that possibility, we're saying together now, we have to look at we have to look at all the other criterion, because right now we have something quite general. We want to specify it, right?
I think I know where you're getting, so I want to save us both time.
right.
You're trying to get an end agenda that Muhammad was a prophet. Correct or incorrect?
Yes, I'm trying to do that. Yeah.
All right, so let's